Welcome to English Podcast. Subscribe our channel for more update.
Have you ever been in a conversation where someone asks, so what's your day usually like? Or maybe, what do you do every day?
Oh, yeah. All the time.
It's such a natural question, isn't it? Really one of the simplest, yet most fundamental ways we connect with people.
Definitely.
And, for anyone learning English, it's just a gold mine for practicing conversation, getting that fluency.
Absolutely. And that's precisely what our deep dive today is all about. We're pulling apart this really clever conversational guide.
Okay.
It essentially gives you a shortcut, like a way to talk about your daily life with confidence.
Ah, nice. Because it can feel a bit daunting, right? Describing your routine clearly.
Exactly. But this guide makes it surprisingly straightforward and engaging, too.
So what's the mission here? What are we digging into?
Well, our mission is to extract not just what words to use, but to really get how to structure those words for clarity, and impact.
Got it. So structure is key.
Yep. We're using a conversational guide as our source, focused specifically on mastering daily routines.
Okay, let's dive right into it then. So, this guide, it kicks things off in a pretty brilliant way, actually, by showing us personal examples.
Real routines.
Yeah, actual daily routines. So it's not just theory, it's practical. You look at how individuals, the guide calls them Jason and Julia, structure their days.
Right.
And you immediately start seeing these common patterns. Really useful stuff for your own conversations.
And what's truly insightful here isn't just that these simple examples work, but why they're so effective, especially for language learners.
How so?
Well, they help you bypass that common trap of overthinking grammar,
Yeah.
getting bogged down.
Yeah, definitely felt that before.
Right? So you build confidence with these manageable chunks of language. And crucially, they sort of inherently force you to use those high-frequency verbs.
The basics.
Exactly. The bedrock of everyday fluency.
So the guide introduces Jason and Julia. Their routines, different, but like you said, they show these common patterns. Let's start with the mornings.
Okay.
Jason wakes up around 8 a.m. First move. Always a glass of water.
Good habit.
Yeah. Then making coffee. Breakfast for him is quick but filling eggs and toast.
Solid start.
And then straight to checking emails.
Okay, typical morning warrior. What about Julia?
Julia, she's more of an early riser, usually up by 7 a.m.
Okay.
Her routine starts in the bathroom, brushing teeth, then coffee.
The coffee again.
Yep. And a simple breakfast. Just bread and butter.
Mm.
And like Jason, she also habitually checks her phone and inbox. It's a habit, the guide says.
Interesting. So it's fascinating how they both share those core things, coffee, checking messages.
Right.
But there are these subtle differences. Wake-up times, breakfast choices.
Yeah, those personal touches, they really add flavor, don't they? It's not just a list of actions. It feels like a glimpse into their actual lives.
Exactly. It makes the language feel real.
Okay, so they've kicked off their day. What about the main stretch? The work part, the afternoon? How do they handle that and then, switch gears to unwind?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, these routines aren't just about managing time slots.
Right. They're about how we consciously or maybe unconsciously structure our lives, how we connect with our responsibilities, and even how we carve out that personal space in a busy day.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So for Julia, work starts at 9:00 a.m.
Uh-huh.
And conveniently, she works from home.
Oh, nice perk.
Yeah. And she actually enjoys her morning meetings, chats with colleagues about hobbies, weekend plans, that kind of thing.
Builds connection.
Totally. And she has this great habit. Writes a long to-do list every morning, helps her stay on track.
Smart. Very organized. What about Jason?
Jason sometimes works from home too.
Yeah.
On the day they talk about, he started at 9:30 a.m.
Okay, a slightly later start.
Yeah. And he always has a team meeting at 10 a.m. His meetings sound a bit more intense. Project updates, deadlines.
Ugh, so things get busy pretty fast for him.
Seems like it.
Mm.
Now, lunchtime. Julia usually eats around noon, quick sandwich.
Keeping it simple.
Yep. She typically wraps up work around 5:30 p.m. Then, to unwind, she goes for a walk in the park.
Nature therapy. Nice.
Yeah.
Jason. Jason prefers a light salad for lunch. Gets back to work until about 5:00 p.m. Then he heads to the gym for about an hour. Says it makes him feel energized.
Interesting contrast.
Yeah. It's really interesting how they both prioritize de-stressing after work, but in completely different ways. A walk versus the gym.
It really shows how personal these daily rhythms are, doesn't it? There's no single right way.
Absolutely. Okay, so as the day winds down, let's look at their evenings. The evening retreat, you could say. Food, relaxation, getting ready for rest.
Yeah, and this brings up a really important question, I think. How do these evening routines prepare us for the next day?
Oh, good point. Not just ending this day.
Exactly. Physically and mentally. They're more than just winding down. They're sort of setting the stage for tomorrow's well-being, our productivity.
Right, right. So Jason, we learn, loves trying new recipes. He actually cooks dinner after getting home.
Oh, a foodie.
Apparently. Last night, the guide says he made a fish dish. After dinner, he relaxes by watching a comedy show or a movie.
Okay, standard relaxation. Julia.
Julia, on the other hand, admits she's not a great cook.
Huh. Relatable for many.
Totally. So she sticks to simpler meals, pasta, or maybe chicken and vegetables.
Makes sense.
And instead of TV, she likes to read a book before bed.
Different styles of winding down.
Yeah. But here's a common thread again. Both Jason and Julia aim to head to bed around 10:00 p.m.
Okay. So despite the different evening activities, sleep is prioritized around the same time.
Exactly. It just underscores that universal need for a good night's sleep, doesn't it? No matter how unique the rest of your day is.
It really does. You need that foundation.
So it's clear how these winding down activities are like a perfect personal ending to their day's story. But like you said, this isn't just about their day.
No.
The guide then shows us how to take all this and apply it to talking about our own lives.
Exactly. And this next part is where the guide really delivers on that practical promise.
Okay, I'm ready.
It takes these stories, these examples, and boils them down into concrete, practical phrases you can use right away.
The toolkit section.
Pretty much. And the immediate usability is quite striking.
What's so special about these phrases?
Well, what's really remarkable is just their clarity, their simplicity. They give you a direct way to talk about common actions without getting tangled up in complicated grammar.
That's the dream.
And, this guide subtly teaches a crucial grammar point without even really mentioning it. It's the power of the simple present tense for routines.
How do you mean?
When you say, I wake up at 7, you're naturally using the perfect verb form for habits, for routines.
I see. So you sound correct without even trying too hard.
Exactly. Your sentences become clear and grammatically sound right from the start.
Okay, so give me some examples of these phrases for time-based actions.
Super straightforward, like, I wake up at, and then the time.
I wake up at 7 a.m.
Perfect. Or, I eat breakfast at 8. I start work at 9:00.
And the guide mentions students too, right?
Yep, easily adapted. I go to school at 8:00, or I study in the afternoon.
It seems almost too simple sometimes, doesn't it?
But that's the genius of it. Often, we overthink describing our day. We search for complex words, perfect tense.
And then we freeze up.
Right. This guide just strips that away. It gives you these core structures you can use immediately.
Okay, what about after work?
Equally simple. Phrases like, I go to the gym, I cook dinner, I walk my dog, whatever fits your life.
And relaxation.
Same idea. I watch TV, I read a book, I listen to music.
It's remarkable how much you can actually convey with just these basic building blocks.
It really is. Covers a lot of ground.
And to really drive this home, the material even includes a quick role play.
Yeah, that's a great touch.
Shows how these phrases work in a real back and forth conversation. Demonstrates that rhythm of dialogue.
And it's not just an example, it's like a template. Shows how easy it can be to ask and answer questions about daily life. That simple flow.
Want to try it? Like recreate it based on Jason and Julia.
Sure, sounds good. You can ask me about Jason first using those simple question forms.
Okay. What time does Jason wake up?
He wakes up at 8, double hole.
What does he eat for breakfast?
He eats eggs and toast.
When does he start work?
At 9:30.
What does he do after work?
He goes to the gym.
And in the evening?
He cooks dinner and watches TV.
Simple as that. Okay, my turn. Ask me about Julia.
All right. What time does Julia wake up?
At 7:00.
What does she eat for breakfast?
Bread and butter.
When does she finish work?
5:30.
What does she do after work?
She walks in the park.
Before bed?
She reads a book. See, that Q&A format just makes sharing even a kind of complex routine feel really manageable.
Yeah, it breaks it down into those digestible pieces.
Oh.
Very effective.
So the guide doesn't stop there, right? It points out you can extend this. Talk about other common things like chores and hobbies.
Mm-hmm. Adds more depth, more personality.
It's a practical reminder, I guess, that our days aren't just work and rest.
Exactly. They include all those small tasks, the little joys, the stuff that makes up our individual experience and makes us, well, us.
So talking about chores, the key phrases are, again, wonderfully straightforward. I do the dishes, I clean the kitchen, I do the laundry.
The classics.
Totally. And the examples from the guide. Jason does dishes daily, takes out the trash twice a week.
Okay, consistent.
Julia cleans her kitchen daily, too, and does laundry on the weekend. You know, hearing about Jason doing dishes daily and Julia cleaning our kitchen daily makes me feel a little guilty about my own routine.
I know the feeling. But it highlights those little consistent tasks, right? They add up.
They really do. And hobbies. Same simple structure.
Yep. Phrases like I play, I draw, I listen to music, I read books.
And the examples.
Jason, for instance, plays the guitar for 20 minutes every day.
Nice little habit.
Yeah. And Julia likes to draw in the evenings, sometimes listens to podcasts.
And you can easily add frequency, right?
Exactly. Just tack on every day or on the weekend in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Adds that extra layer of detail simply.
That's super useful. Okay, what about weekends? Things often change them.
They do. But the great news from this guide is the language structure stays completely consistent.
Ah, that's good to know. No new rules to learn.
Exactly. What's powerful here is just how versatile these simple phrases are. You adapt them to any situation, really. Just change the vocabulary, the nouns, the verbs to reflect what you're actually doing.
So the structure is like a flexible framework.
Precisely. A solid, flexible framework.
So, for example, on weekends, the guide says Jason wakes up later, around 9:00 a.m.
Sleeping in a bit.
Yep. And often goes to the market, meets friends at a cafe, different vibe.
Totally. And Julia.
She visits her family on Saturdays, relaxes on Sundays, movies, books, a bit of cleaning.
See? Different activities, maybe different times, but notice how the core phrases just stay the same.
Yeah, you're just slotting in new activities. I go to the market, I visit my family, I watch movies.
Exactly. The underlying grammar doesn't suddenly get more complicated just because it's Saturday, which is honestly a huge relief when you're learning.
Definitely takes the pressure off. Okay, so as we bring this deep dive to a close, let's really pull out the essential linguistic takeaways. What's the core toolkit this guide gives us?
Right. Think of this distillation, this summary of key words and actions, as your essential vocabulary kit, your go-to tools for describing any day. Gives you the confidence to talk about your life, like, right away.
So we've got those essential time words: morning, afternoon, evening, night.
Mm-hmm. The basic blocks of the day.
And those core action verbs that cover so much ground: wake up, eat, work, walk, cook, clean, read, sleep.
Yeah, the real workhorses of daily description.
And the guide shows just how simply you can combine them. In the morning, I wake up. In the evening, I watch TV.
That simplicity is genuinely empowering. It removes that intimidation factor we talked about.
So to really make this stick, the advice is practice, right?
Absolutely. Practice is key.
Mm-hmm.
The guide suggests trying to write about your own day using these phrases.
Or even just speaking out loud to yourself.
Yep, that works too.
Yeah.
Get your mouth used to forming the sentences.
Mm-hmm.
But then the real magic happens when you start using them in actual conversations.
With friends, teachers, classmates.
Exactly. That's where it really comes alive.
So this deep dive really provides a clear, practical roadmap, doesn't it? To confidently talk about the most fundamental part of your life, your daily routine. It feels like a key to broader communication.
It absolutely is. And maybe here's a final thought for you, the listener, to mull over.
Okay.
How might consciously observing and then just simply articulating your own daily rhythm, maybe using just a few of these key phrases we discussed, how might that reveal new insights
Insights about what?
about your habits, maybe your priorities, even subtle opportunities for change that you hadn't really noticed before, just hiding in plain sight within your routine?
That's interesting. It's the act of describing it can make you see it differently.
Exactly. So we'd really encourage you, try describing your next day using these simple structures. See what you discover.